key to giving an effective seminar obviously is good information, but it's really in the delivery. We always liken seminars to a plane trip. It's all about the takeoff and the landing. Sometimes what happens in between isn't nearly as important as the open and the close. We want to show you today how we can put some pertinent information into these seminars to where the clients are seeing this for the very first time and you gave your clients a compelling reason to do business with you. We're going to move at a quick pace. There's a reason for it. We like to move quick. We want to keep the crowd engaged. Just as they're starting to maybe slide, we're on to the next topic so they pop up again. One of the comments we always get is, boy, you moved at a really quick pace, but I really liked how it went. I think one of the key mistakes that a lot of people make in giving workshops is a little too slow, a little too methodical. One of the things that we always tell, and one of the things that our producers always relay to their clients is, you did not accumulate this all in an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. There's no way we can plan for it. So our goal today is to move at a quick pace, give you 1 or 2 items to grab onto, and then what we can do is we can sit down and we can move at your speed, not our speed. This is important stuff. We have to get it right. Our goal today was to give you a couple of ideas just to start with, and then we're going to move on. When they understand that, then they're okay with moving at a little quicker pace, and moving at that quicker pace will keep them engaged and keep everything moving. What we're going to do today, everybody, is we're going to go through this seminar just as if we were talking to a room full of clients. However, we are then going to stop and break down the important slides and get a little narrative to everything that we're doing so you can really get a feel and really encompass what we're trying to accomplish here. Now, let's start this and get this underway. First slide is very obvious. This is your logo. This is something about you. This is a title of what we're going to do in regards to the seminar or how we're going to do it. And so we have everything up there. Okay? Our next slide, when we go to the next part, this is housekeeping. We want to establish a set of ground rules up front. Expectations. When expectations get met, everybody's happy. We're going to go for about 65 minutes. Restrooms are outside around the corner. Refreshments are going to be served right after we finish. We are going to have answers. We're hoping we stimulated some questions. Last but not least, please turn off your cell phones or put them on silent mode. Why? You won't bother me, but you'll get some dirty looks from your neighbors. So we just want to set all that up front, okay? Now, a little bit about all the services that we're going to offered and all the stuff we're going to talk about today. Wills, living trust, retirement, income plannings, tax strategies, investments, life insurance, analysis, planning, long-term care strategies, continual client service and planning reviews. I know everyone in this room has reviewed their stuff every 12 months just like clockwork, right? I know some of you should be reviewing it every quarter. Have you been? We also like to keep you informed of the law changes and the rule changes. We've had a lot of tax law changes. Everything keeps changing every day. Everybody knows laws on your IRAs changed over 9 years ago, right? Everybody knows we just had a law change in 2010 at the beginning of the year on your IRAs. Is it good? Is it bad? How do we take advantage of it? We don't know. We're going to talk about that today. And last but not least, we like to monitor your changing financial circumstances. Why? Things change. They change all the time and they change in a blink of an eye. We want to make sure if one of those blink of the eye changes happens to you or your family, that everything is put together and the estate plan holds solid. As you notice as we go through this slide, it's very important to let them know what you're going to do and start stimulating questions. It is incredibly important to start stimulating questions on the IRA, the law changes, the tax changes that are going to happen to these people. And if they don't pay attention to it, it can cost them potentially tens, hundreds, maybe even millions of dollars, depending on what their net worth and their estates are like. That's why we want to start stimulating thought right away. Okay? Now, we have an old cliche, everybody. People do not plan to fail, they just fail to plan. This is one of the oldest cliches in the book, but it rings true. And how do we know it does? Because I have yet to meet a person that says, yeah, I want to pay as much as I can in income tax. I haven't met a person yet that says, yeah, I'm okay if I lose my estate for the nursing home because I got sick and the government made me spend down. How many people want to keep losing money in their investments? We never see hands go up for this stuff, but does that stuff happen? Well, it happens every day. Why? Because we didn't set up a proper estate plan to take care of this, okay? Now, our first topic today, everybody, is wills versus trust. What's best for you and your loved ones? We ask one favor. Please hold the questions to the end of each section. Why? Because We're going to probably cover the question that you may have, but if we didn't, please stop and answer it. Now, if you cannot wait to the end of each section, you stop and fire it out, okay, and we will stop and we will answer it for all of you, because I'm sure the question that you're going to ask may have some other people in this room wondering the same thing. So our first topic is wills versus trusts, what is best for you and your loved ones. Potential effects of not planning your estate. Okay, everybody, our first potential hazard here is something called conservatorship. What is it? What is it? It is when an outsider manages your estate if you become incapacitated. You're driving down the road, you get involved in a car accident, God forbid, you wind up in a coma. A month later, your spouse says, well, I need to get money out of your IRA to pay our light bill. May the spouse do that? No. Why? It's your IRA, it's not theirs. What happens is they're going to have to go to an attorney and set up a conservatorship, okay? And then you have court costs and attorney fees associated with that. You also get CPA fees to manage the books. Once a year, you have to open up the books and disclose them to the court to make sure that you looked out for your family's best interest. Okay, you have now lost control of your estate. You can't do what you want to do when you want to do it. I'll give you a great example of a conservatorship, and please don't laugh when I do this, but I think of Britney Spears. Why? Every time Britney Spears wants something, she has to ask who? Her father. Now imagine if you had to go ask permission of somebody to go buy a pair of shoes. Okay? Luckily, Britney Spears got her father as conservator, because typically the courts appoint an attorney. We do not want you to lose control of your estate, so we want to be able to avoid conservatorship. Okay? This can be avoided. It is voluntary. Next is probate. What is it? Probate's a legal process of transferring your assets to your heirs following your death. That is a legal definition of probate. What's our definition? This is an attorney's retirement plan. That may be totally avoided. Now, people always say estate planning is just for rich people. Is it just for the rich? No, it's for everybody, because you all have estates. Think of everything you own, add it all up into a pile, and imagine giving a percentage away to an attorney because you didn't plan properly. Time delays are 6 to 36 months. There's mental anguish on your estate. Has anyone ever heard of families not speaking to each other after the will has been read? Well, there's usually a pretty good reason for that. And your estate is public record. When you die and if you go through probate, your estate becomes public knowledge. How many of you people would like strangers sifting through your things wondering what you had or what you didn't have? I'm a very private person. I don't want any strangers going through my things, okay? Also, if you have property in 2 or more states, you may undergo probate in every state you own property in, okay? Probate may be avoided. Okay, it can be avoided. This is voluntary. You don't have to subscribe to this. However, a significant portion of Americans do. Why? Because they don't do their estate plan properly. Right here is our estate exemption schedule. As you can see, it keeps going up until year 2010 when they've repealed the estate tax. This is great news if you die this year. Okay, so Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, if you're going to go, this is probably the best year to go because there won't be a federal estate tax. In year 2011, we don't know what's going to happen. The rumor is they're going to let the tax cuts expire, and we're supposed to go back to the old schedule. Our whole goal here is to plan for the worst and hope for the best, okay? Now, your estate taxes, these apply to estates with a total value in excess of $3 million. That was last year's. Remember, this year it's exempt. That tax started at 35% and went up to 45% for the estate value over $3.5 million. So we all know how the estate tax works. Let's say you had a $5 million estate and you passed away. The first $3.5 is estate tax free, then you're going to pay tax on that extra $1.5 million. Remember, 2010, right now we have unlimited exemption because they repealed that estate tax, okay? Now, estate taxes can be avoided or minimized. We don't like minimize, we like avoid. Why? With proper planning, you may avoid the estate tax. Okay, so we want everyone to take proper planning. And remember, next year it's supposed to go to $1 million. It does not take a lot to accumulate $1 million these days. So you need to be able to have a plan. You want to plan for the worst and we want to hope for the best, okay?